famous or know, is our church warden here at St Luke's, and is absolutely brilliant to work alongside Anne, so thank you, Anne. And we're going to talk about the financial situation here at St Luke's and how giving works and things like that. So first of all, Anne, where does St Luke's money come from?
Well, first I'm going to talk about how it came to us prior to COVID, because things have obviously changed. There was a reasonably large amount from hall rentals and from hiring out this part of the building for elections, of which we've got one coming up this year, hopefully. From our summer and autumn fairs and events such as the barn dances and the choir concerts. We've had occasional legacies. We get some money from the use of our photocopier by other people, and a large part of it comes actually from giving from the church family itself. We don't get any government grants, I think most people are aware of that, and we don't get anything from the diocese in monetary terms. Even the money that we have to charge people for weddings and funerals is owed to the diocese, but they allow us to keep a small part of that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's worth just reiterating that we don't get grants from the government or from the diocese. And I'm sure our regulars know that, but one or two people watching on might not be aware of that. They might think that because we're the national church, and of course we get grants from government. We don't, do we? What do we spend our money on here?
Well, as with any household, we've got certain ongoing costs. We have to pay for gas, electricity, water, for the boiler to be serviced, for the electrical system to be checked, for pat testing of all of the appliances that we plug in, for the fire extinguishers to be serviced. We pay for rent on our photocopier, we pay for the paper and toner that uses. Now we've got Wi-Fi, we're of course paying monthly for that as well, but that should be a great aid to our ministry. We've got to add on the cost of cleaning, the cleaning products, the cleaner herself, the hand gel and dispensers that we now have to have in the building. Grass cutting. Once upon a time we had volunteers to do some of these jobs, but people aren't able to volunteer in the same way now, for various reasons. And we even have to pay for some help administering the wages and tax for employees, because the government have made the system so complicated that it's difficult for ordinary mortals to comprehend. We have to pay for the service sheet to be printed, bread and wine for communion, candles for the carol services, and so on. We occasionally have plumbing crises, other minor repairs. The sound system often throws up a few problems, and the building generally needs keeping in good repair. We have to pay for the architect to come and inspect our building every 5 years. Our quinquennial inspection is compulsory. We pay a small fee to Deanery Synod for representation there, and we even have to pay for training that the diocese runs for people like myself. We also have to pay out quite a large amount as our free will offering to the diocese. Now, an even bigger part that we have to pay out is our contributions to John's wages. We're paying about 1/3 of the cost of providing a minister down here at St Luke's. We have to even pay for rent on our vicarage for him to use it, although they have subsidised that a bit.
Well, thank you very much for paying that. It must be said at this point that however much the diocese charges to have me and Ash around, we don't see anything like all of that. It's just a little over half, I think, we see, and then there's tax and NI out of that, as anybody would have. But thank you very much to everybody who gives to allow us to be in ministry here. It is really a privilege. So the big three things, by the sound of it, is the cost of ministry for having me and, by extension, having Ash as well. The buildings and our contribution to the diocese costs. It sounds like those are the three big things. But then there's a myriad of small things, which also then together add up to be quite big. So we've got all the costs, like you say, as a normal household. What's our financial situation at the moment like?
Well, we had a very healthy amount in our bank accounts going back just a few years. But we've had some extra costs in recent years. We've had a new boiler. We've renewed the lighting in here. We've had to have new back doors, lots of new keys for all the hall users. And as most of you will be aware, we've recently had a new flat roof. Now, COVID means that we've had a much reduced income. Hardly any income from hall use. Some of the hall users didn't come back in between lockdowns. Some of them may never come back. We don't know. And we don't know when lockdown is going to end as far as that's concerned. We haven't been able to hold our summer and autumn fairs, and we haven't been able to put on concerts. Open plate giving has reduced a little bit because not so many people have been into church, although they may have transferred to giving other ways. I don't know. Some people, of course, may not return to church, especially if they decide they prefer online church going. And, of course, there's the drop in interest rates on the money that is in the bank. But we still need to keep the heat on to prevent frost damage. We need to have extra heating on Sunday mornings because we've got to have better ventilation in the building. We've still got standing charges for our utilities, regardless of our use of them. And we still have to pay the rent of the photocopier, and I think we pay something towards the lighting down the side of the church. Hopefully, some of the investments that I mentioned earlier may have reduced our fuel consumption somewhat.
Thank you. So we've got less cash in the bank than we used to have, but we're still here.
Yes.
We're still very much here, and we've got vision for the future, and we want to grow. I'd like to say at this point, thank you very, very much to everybody who has given over the years and continues to give. That's great. So what would we like to be able to do, given the money?
Well, we want to be able to fund ministry here so that we can reach more people with the good news about Jesus. And that will probably mean that we need to lengthen our commitment to keep John here. We need to keep our building and environs in good order to make it attractive and comfortable for worshippers, and to keep the hall attractive to hirers. Our building's beginning to age a bit now. The window frames are rotting. Now, we could patch and paint every couple of years, or we could replace with expensive but perhaps more energy efficient and attractive windows. The garages out the back are no longer fit for purpose, and the surrounding ground is full of pernicious weeds. But there may be the cost of asbestos removal even if we just opt to demolish them. And there is an expectation on us to improve the ground to avoid damage to the new vicarage fence that the diocese provided. We've got to decide, do we repair the garages? Do Do we demolish before treating the surrounding ground? We don't know yet. We need to do some decorating to the ceilings underneath the new flat roof. There was damage to one ceiling and some of the others are just looking a bit shabby. We might have some more costs coming up associated with the state of the car park and the road round the back. I think it's thought to be our responsibility.
So we've got plans. What do we need to do as a church family?
First of all, we need to pray. We need to pray that the God who's kept St. Luke's here for more than 50 years will help us keep it going longer. That he'll bring new, younger people to worship here and give of their talents and their time and their money. We need to pray that some of those who've been joining our online services during the pandemic might be moved to make a contribution to our running costs. And we need to pray that some of our existing family might feel that they can give a little bit more or in a more effective way.
Thank you. So starting off with prayer and moving from there, I think that's makes my heart sing to hear a church warden say that. Thank you. So how can we change our giving if we feel that's the right thing for us to do?
Well, you could set up a standing order to St. Luke's so that a regular amount is paid, weekly, monthly, annually, whatever you choose, whether you attend services or not. And if you're a taxpayer, you could associate that with gift aid. If you don't feel that that's something you would like to do, you might like to consider, if you happen to be changing your will, to put St. Luke's in your will and leave as a legacy, as some people have done in the past. Or even just to let your relatives know that you'd like any collection at your funeral to be in memory of you at St. Luke and to go to St. Luke's. If you think you've come into a little bit of a windfall, or you've actually spent less during COVID than you thought you would, you might want to consider a one-off gift to the church. That could be done through your bank account, or it could be done through open plate giving. Gift aid is important. The government very kindly say they'll give us an extra 25% on all our giving if it's gift aided. But if you gift aid, you must be careful that you're not promising to gift aid more than you're actually paying in tax. If you put money into the plate on a weekly basis or whenever you happen to be here, that can sometimes count for gift aid without you having promised gift aid yourself. Any single cash donation below £30 now that's put into the plate, not bundled together in amounts larger than £30, will earn us that 25% extra. So if you are retired and not paying tax anymore, that might be a way that you could actually get us to receive the money from gift aid. If you can't come on a weekly basis and you want to put in a few weeks' contributions when you do come, if you put it together in an envelope, you must make sure that you write on that envelope how many weekly contributions it represents. And we have been promised that if each weekly amount is less than £30, that will still count for gift aid, even if it's in the same envelope. And you don't even have to put your name on the envelope if you want to keep the gift anonymous. We might at some point consider contactless donations. Now we've got Wi-Fi here, but there might be some costs associated with that, so we don't know as yet whether that's something that we might decide to take up. And there's a possibility that there might be an opportunity to give through the website, but again, it's a bit remote as yet. word with our treasurer. I can put you in touch with her, or John or Ash can as well. She would be very happy to discuss it. You don't even have to tell her the amount that you want to give or not give. And I'm sure she'll point you in the right direction.
Great, thank you. So that's wonderful, isn't it? If somebody's able to give, say, it's an easy amount, £20 a week, they put it in the plate, that £20 becomes £25 for us, which is great. That really, you can see how that makes a difference when 2 or 3 people start giving in that way, and making sure it's less than £30 in a week if that's what they want to give. Fantastic. Let me pray for us. Our Father, thank you that we have a God who has enabled St. Luke's to be here for more than 50 years, and we do pray that you would keep us going for at least another 50 years and much longer into the future. Please would you help each of us to prayerfully consider how we can contribute to not just the ministry in our own generation, but for the generation ahead as well. That there would be a church here making Jesus known throughout Willoughby for generations